everybody. I hope you and your loved ones are doing as well as can be today. So today I am doing a day in the life. I have a follow-up ultrasound at the hospital for my blood clot DVT. So I will take you guys along with me and show you my day.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
So I just wanted to let you know I use this foot and body powder as a deodorant on the days that I'm not like excessively sweating, but just like on normal sweating days. I do sometimes sweat excessively because of my autonomic dysfunction. My nervous system is not working properly because of my dysautonomia. But anyway, this is awesome. It's all natural. It has grapefruit extract or grapefruit seed extract, as well as lavender oil, and it is talc and paraben free. And this actually does not affect my mast cell activation. I do not react from this. There's very few things that I can tolerate. So yeah, I use this under my arms. You can really use this wherever you have some sweat or moisture in your body. I'm just gonna finish getting ready. I woke up without oxygen. I usually sleep without oxygen unless I literally cannot breathe, because I just try to give myself a break from the oxygen cannula in my nose. It really dries out everything, and I spit up blood, I blow out blood, and everything gets really, really dry, like painfully dry because of the oxygen. So I try to give myself a break every now and then, but I woke up and I had an asthma attack. I didn't want to film that. but I had a horrible asthma attack and I did have to hook up to my oxygen on 3 liters per minute, which is what I'm usually on. And I did my breathing treatment, and after I did my breathing treatment with albuterol, that helped a little bit, so I'm able to like talk. But I am still a little short of breath like usual. My chest is hurting, and I have a killer headache today. I'm really hoping that gets better, so yeah. So I am drinking a smoothie for my breakfast that my mom made. It has blended up blueberries, fresh organic blueberries, some frozen mango, some water, some flax oil, which is for my extremely dry eyes. Taking a tablespoon of flax oil a day really helps with that. It's painfully dry if I miss my flax oil. And I think that's everything in here, and it's really good. It's not too sweet. Oh, and I was feeling really nauseous, but I took some Rick Simpson infused oil. I think I showed you guys this, which helped. I'm very grateful for that. A dear friend gave me that, so thanks, girl. So I am about to do my first IV of the day. I do generally 2 to 3 liters a day. Here is the flush and the tubing that connects to my IV pump, aka the Curlin pump. Those are all my supplies. My little backpack, which I generally put my IV and IV pump in when I have to go to doctor's appointments, but sometimes when I'm at home, I just put it in there. I prefer it over my pole because my IV pole doesn't have wheels, and so it makes it harder to like move around the house with the IV pole. It's much easier to carry the backpack. There's the Curlin pump. Now I am just opening up a Saline Flush, and here's an alcohol pad. I have to keep everything sterilized. Of course, don't want to get sepsis again. I had an infected port last year, which turned septic, and I was hospitalized in an IV antibiotics for over a month. So I don't want that again. Sanitizing. Okay, so I'm taking the end of my line, my Hickman line, and I am sanitizing it, or should I say sterilizing it? I always say sanitizing, I mean sterilizing, but it's like pretty much the same thing, right? Okay, so now I'm taking the Saline Flush. I always have to flush before any of my IV treatments, and it does not hurt if you're wondering. I do taste it. It tastes gross and chemically. That's the best way for me to describe it, is it tastes like chemicals. But I have gotten used to it after 1.5 years of doing my own IV treatments from home. I've become like my own nurse. So I'm taking the IV bag and I am just sterilizing it. I have to sterilize everything for 20 to 30 seconds. Every single thing that's going to go onto my line or inside of me, of course. And so yeah, I'm just taking the end of the line that connects to the Curlin pump and the IV, and I am just emptying out the air, or taking out the air bubbles from the line by lifting it up and letting gravity do the job for me. I do have to hold it up for a few seconds, which makes my arm tired, but no biggie. So once again, just sterilizing the end of the line and connecting my line, my Hickman line, to the IV line. which is the line that connects to the IV and the IV pump. Okay, I am doing saline again, so I'm thinking that my short-term memory loss made me forget that I had actually already flushed and I did not need to flush again. I just have to flush once with saline before my treatments and then once with saline after my treatments, as well as with a heparin lock after the treatments. Oh, okay, so here I'm checking for blood return because I have had a blood clot. I've had to check to see if I get blood return once a week, and if I do not get blood return, that is a concern because that means my blood clot is occluding my line or blocking it from working properly or from blood from being able to flow. So this was a good thing that I saw blood, and here I am putting it back into my body because I need all the blood I can take. I am anemic already. So here I have some more saline flushes and a heparin flush, and I'm just re-sterilizing my hands because I touched some things that weren't sterile. Just a little dry cough. This time it was dry. It goes between dry and mucousy. It's quite lovely. Here I'm just hooking up my IV line into the Curlin pump. So there are little slots inside where you can insert the line, and so I did that and I closed it shut. I'm kind of just organizing my space, and I'm having a little smoothie break because we know that's necessary. So I am all hooked up to my IV fluids, and I put a little bit of makeup on, not too much, just a little concealer under my eyes, a little lip liner, and blush, liquid blush. I don't know if you could see. It's a very subtle makeup look. I don't have the energy to do anything else. I have another day at the hospital today because I have my follow-up for my blood clot. It is a ultrasound. I have had one every month except for December since they found my blood clot back in the end of September. They started me out in the hospital back in the fall when they first found the DVT blood clot in my arm, which was right here next to where my PICC line was. They started me on Eliquis, which is an oral blood thinner, but I actually had a really bad reaction, a anaphylactic type reaction to this medicine, which is weird because I was on Eliquis last year in 2019 for my last blood clot. And when I was on it for my last blood clot, I had no issues. So that's just mast cell activation syndrome. One day you're not allergic to something, and then the next day you are allergic to something that you've had before. So it's really unpredictable. But anyway, I had a bad reaction in the hospital. They took care of it, and I had been switched over to Lovenox shots, which I have also been on anytime I'm in the hospital, and I've never had a bad reaction to Lovenox shots, so they figured that was a safe bet to just stick with the shots. So lucky me, I've been stabbing myself in the stomach twice a day religiously for over 3 months now. I give myself this shot 12 hours, every 12 hours. So I've had to wake up in the middle of my sleep every night at around 4 in the morning, which is so much fun. I already lose a lot of sleep because of mast cell activation and pain and all this stuff, you know, nausea. So it's just been one extra thing causing me to lose sleep. But it's okay. I am just grateful that that I'm alive, because blood clots are very risky. They lead to stroke, they lead to pulmonary embolisms, which lead to death. So they are fatal, and this is my second blood clot now. So I'm just so grateful to God that I'm still here on this earth. I have to count my blessings all the time. So yeah, I give this shot in my stomach every 12 hours, like I said, and we're hoping that I can reduce it down to once a day. So hopefully the blood clot is gone by now. And she ordered a test to check all of my upper extremity veins. So it's going to be my right arm, my left arm, and my chest. So, which is good, because since I am prone to getting blood clots, we want to make sure that I don't have any other ones. So, because not every blood clot presents with pain. A lot of people think that if you have a blood clot, you're going to be in pain. When this one appeared in September, I didn't have pain in the beginning, and I told my nurse, my home nurse, I was like, I have a feeling I have a blood clot. I'm very intuitive. I'm very in touch with my body. And I just knew, I sensed it, that, because I've had a blood clot before, this is not my first. And so I just sensed that I had another blood clot. She was trying to tell me I didn't have it. This was my old nurse that got fired because she did a lot of no-nos, put me at risk for sepsis, and I don't have to get into that, but I have another new nurse, a new home nurse who's wonderful. She's so professional. She's amazing. Shout out to Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. So yeah, I found out that I had that blood clot when the pain got worse. At first it wasn't hurting, but eventually it started hurting because I ignored it, and God only knows how long it was there before it was hurting so bad that I had to go to the ER. So yeah, that's a little background history on my blood clots. So I have had a total of 3 ultrasounds, or 4, one in the hospital in September, one in October, one in November. So this will be my 4th for this blood clot. Thankfully, the ultrasound is pretty quick. It's about 30 minutes, an hour tops. And you just lay there. It's not painful or anything like that. So yeah, I am just ready to get this over with. And I will hear from my hematologist. I think next week is my appointment. It's either I think it's next week. So I'll probably hear from the hematologist. Sometimes the tech is really nice and gives me the results there on the spot, but they're really not supposed to do that. So we'll see. I am pretty much ready for my appointment. I'm just resting, drinking some of my smoothie, and I just want to point out that I didn't film myself hacking up my lung this morning. I always cough a lot when I wake up. Like right when I wake up, but I didn't film that. I didn't think you guys would want to see that. I am really grateful that I'm feeling better today than I was feeling yesterday. I feel really bad with this headache, and with my arthritis and EDS pain flared up. And of course, still my mast cell activation flared up, which has been giving me hell. It's causing me to wake up every single night. And my asthma attacks, even though I had one today, it hasn't been as bad. Okay, and I think Xolair is actually helping with that. I had my 3rd Xolair shot last week, and yeah, I think that's helping with my asthma. I'm just hoping and praying that it'll start helping with my mast cell activation issues. I wake up every night with, horrible congestion, my eye like super, super irritated and watery and itchy, and you know, trouble breathing and sneezing and just all kinds of rashes and itchiness, and it's just no fun. And also I suspect it's making my cyclic vomiting syndrome worse. I spent all day yesterday on the verge of throwing up. It was miserable. So that's why I'm really grateful that I'm feeling better today, because I don't know how I would make it to the hospital being that nauseated. So, you know, I always try to count my blessings, focus on the good stuff. That's what gets me through. My hickman, I've been calling it a hickman, by the way. This is a tunneled line, and it's technically not a hickman. It's a different brand, but it's the same type of line as a hickman. So I just call it a hickman. That's what like my care team has been calling it. So this has been working well, thankfully. I got some blood return, which is a good sign. And it hasn't been as itchy ever since my nurse has been using betadine instead of chloroprep, chlorhexidine. That's why it's a little yellow. That's from the betadine. Yeah, and it still itches and bothers me pretty much every day with the itching, but I can't complain because it's been much better. My immunologist diagnosed me with contact dermatitis. I think I mentioned that in my last vlog. You can check that out up here. But yeah, he gave me a steroid cream. It's called like I don't know, I'll show you it in a second. I haven't used it yet because it says on the thing it's supposed to be like build up like after 7 days of consecutive use. It's supposed to help, but I can't put this under my dressing for 7 days in a row because after my nurse puts the dressing on, it can't come off because it's an infection risk if I take it off. So I'm going to talk to my nurse about that to see if she can come up with a plan on how we're going to do that. I guess we're just going to try to put it on once on dressing change day and see if that works. Otherwise, I might have to change my dressing every single day to prevent it from itching so much. But again, it hasn't been as bad as it was, so betadine is doing something. So yeah, let me show you that steroid cream that I got. It is a prescription cream for like eczema, for itching from contact dermatitis and stuff like that. He said it won't help with the mast cell rashes, but it will help with the contact dermatitis, so at least that's good, right? Why is this beeping at me? Aren't these the cutest socks ever? They're so cute. My mom got them for me for Christmas from Shein. Super cute. I love them. Just happy this is finally here. Yay! So I got these for my mom. Hopefully she will like them. It's hard to see with this lighting, but she's been wearing some old ones that have been like falling apart for forever. I like the holographic package. This is for Lawson. Gloves and scarf. Hard to see. And then I got panties and 2 tops, which I will open up. Feliz Natal!
Oh, thank you.
Well, we're on our way. We're running late, so hopefully we'll make it to the hospital on time. Oh, me either. I love the heat.
We are just going through it.
Yeah. 3 more months to go.
Yeah. But it goes fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. As long
IV. I finished when I was in the hospital. And here she comes with Paulina back. My good girl. You have to hold on, okay? I have to change my IV and then I'll throw Paulina for you, okay? Thank you, Ian Perkins. You're such a good girl. Do my final breathing treatment of the night, a nebulizer treatment with albuterol, just as I did this morning. I'm supposed to do 3 a day, but I usually do 2 a day, to be honest, because I don't notice that like the third one makes much of a difference, if that makes sense. Trying to do this with one hand is a little hard. Hi y'all, so this is now future me. It is a week after the ultrasound for my blood clot at the hospital, and I had my hematology appointment, telehealth appointment, so from home. And unfortunately I did not get the news that I had expected. We had thought that my blood clot would be gone. The tech, the ultrasound tech, the guy who ran my ultrasound test, said that there was a chronic occlusion. And so in my mind, for whatever reason, I thought that meant that it was just vein damage and not the blood clot itself, because he didn't say anything about the blood clot. He was like, there's just I see chronic occlusion in your vein. So it turns out, my hematologist said the chronic occlusion is a chronic blood clot. So it's not necessarily an active blood clot, but it could still cause harm. It could still travel to my heart or my lungs, although the chance of that happening is not as high as it was in the first month that I had it. I have had it for over 3 months now, so it is considered a chronic blood clot. Unfortunately, it is probably not going to go away, which I was really surprised about. Like, I didn't know you could have blood clots that just stay there. I really thought that it was going to be dissolved because I've been taking my Lovenox shots every day religiously like a good girl. And yeah, I still have a blood clot, and unfortunately this is causing my vein to be occluded, meaning, you know, the blood clot is not allowing blood to flow properly to my heart in that vein. So since blood flow is constricted in that vein, I believe it has been causing more problems with my heart disease. I've had more arrhythmias and palpitations. Fortunately, the heart monitor that I had a few weeks ago around New Year's Eve came back mostly normal. There was some abnormal readings, but nothing alarming. So overall, my heart is stable. So that's really good news. Since I've had my cardiac arrest, everything has looked good with my heart, which is actually really surprising. We were afraid it was going to go downhill, but my heart's doing okay. It's stable. My blood pressure, on the other hand, is not. It's extremely, like, dangerously high. The 24-hour blood pressure monitor reading showed that I have spikes of around 200 over 100, even higher. And this is even while I sleep. So this is dangerously high. It's stroke level blood pressure. So we need to get my hypertension in check. And I will make a video more in depth about this later. I did start enalapril, which is an ACE inhibitor for my heart disease, and specifically for the hypertension, the high blood pressure. It has been causing a lot of problems for my mast cell activation, a lot of asthma attacks, a lot of allergy attacks. It's been really, really rough. I've been losing sleep because of it. I don't know if I can keep taking this med, so I'm waiting to hear from my cardiologist about that. It's just been a wild ride, guys. I thought my blood clot was gone. It's not gone. It is what it is. I do still have to take my Lovenox shots every single day for the rest of my life, unfortunately. So I'm going to continue to stab myself in the stomach. At least it's once a day instead of twice a day. So that's a good thing. I got used to waking up every night in the middle of my sleep to have to give myself my shot. So at least I don't have to do that, right? So yeah, that's my update for now. I still have a blood clot. It's considered chronic now. And yeah, I'm taking the Lovenox, which is the blood thinners, to prevent more blood clots, hopefully. And we are going to try to get my hypertension under control to prevent a stroke or another future heart event like a heart attack. Obviously, we don't want that. So I am going to have to do another blood pressure, 24-hour blood pressure monitor and heart monitor soon to keep track of that. And yeah, hopefully my body adjusts to the enalapril. Otherwise, we're going to have to try something else out. I know that ACE inhibitors do cause mast cell activation disorder to get worse. So that's probably what it is. And I am in the process of being tested for Sjogren's, retested. So I'm going to have a lip biopsy coming up. And on February 2nd, I have a bone marrow biopsy. So keep me in your prayers, guys. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, that will be the end of this video. It's been long enough. So I really appreciate everyone for watching. It means so much to me. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to see me on my chronic illness journey. And I will see you guys next time. I love you to pieces. Take care and stay safe.